It's delayed over on Rumble. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Turn the Page. I'm your host, Janine Steffens, and welcome aboard, everyone. So today it's an exciting time. I love Dee. I just love her so much, and you guys will too. You're going to tap into her energy, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit. We're going to talk about dreams and predictions. Dee, how are you? It's been months since we've seen you last.
I know, right? I've been trying to catch some of your lives and stuff, and I do the best I can. But I've been doing well, just writing and working and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, you look fantastic. I
Thank
guess it,
you.
it was the year for us to grow our hair long. I went through some
Yeah.
phase. I went through a phase where my hair was blonde and gray, then black. Last year, I was trying to go natural, and it wasn't my time, I guess. So let's just see here. Who do we have? I want to say hello to the Staples out in the chat before we get started. And I see Colleen and Buckshot and Kelly and whatnot. And I'm just going to play a little bit of music here until we get more to jump in. So let's just take a minute to breathe into this. And okay, so that's Roy Orbison saying Dreams I Talk to You. It's a really old song. A lot of people here probably don't even know his music, but I loved his music. And so we're going to talk about dreams and predictions. And I'm not sure what you have in line for us, but I'm going to put some things up on the screen. If you could, take a time to see that. I have removed the comments from her so that until we get to the point, if we have time to do a Q&A at the end. And I just want to say again, welcome, Dee. It's always an honor to have you. And you know what, Dee, I just want to make this comment before you get into rolling with the energies.
Okay.
You were one of my very first guests, if you recall, and I think it was almost 3-4 years ago.
Wow, has it been that long?
It has. Yeah, holy crap. I was
Holy cannolis, man.
Yes, exactly. So how that actually came about is I belonged to Connecting Consciousness at that time, and I put something out there and said, anybody an author, wrote a spiritual book, and Dee was the first one. And I actually went through and did an interview with her. I wanted her to be my co-host. That's how much I appreciated her, but she didn't have the time. And who knows, maybe 2024 she will. I'm still asking, Dee.
I'll
Anyway,
see what I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot of fun things coming up.
Awesome.
It's all based upon if I could change and reinvent my show, because I think it's run its course on what it has been, but what a best way to start out with Dee. And then obviously she's going to be returning back. I'm not going to tell you guys how and when or why, but she will be at the end to close out 2023.
Well, your show's been in a transformation period anyway, so it's still in that transformation period. So
thank you.
I don't think you have to work at changing it. It's going to change on its own. So
that's
morphing. Just what I heard. So
very good. So everyone, I just want to let you know, I want to just kind of do before we get into this, I want to kind of tell you a little bit about Dee. I did an intro yesterday about her coming on. She's and let me just kind of show you this before she gets rolling into her predictions and talking about dreams. You guys, if you had a dream and you want to know, if we have time at the end of the show here, she's going to take your questions. So let me just hide some of these comments out here. This is, let me get the right, I'm kind of backwards with my monitors today. This is beautiful Dee. This is what she looked like when I first met her, with the short hair. And she has a website out there. It's called dfletcher.com. And she provides spiritual tools and information to assist in discovering your true spiritual nature. All right. She's written books, The Truth About Spiritual Gifts, and then also Born a Poor Black Indian White Girl. I love that book. We had talked about it in the past. I think, Dee, we'd have to go. I've done over 500 videos, so we'd have to go back 500 videos to revisit these things. Yeah. And so this is her website. It is just totally beautiful. And let's see, what else do I have out here? We are going to talk a little bit about the dreams. Let me stop sharing. And let's just jump into this. Are you guys excited? I know that I am. I am really excited about this. Dee, how do you want to start this? You want to start with predictions?
Well, if I could just say a little bit about myself for those who've never been on before or have no idea why I named my book such a crazy thing. So I've had spiritual experiences and stuff like that since I was a child, and I've kind of known things along the way, and it sort of got trained out of me, and I stopped listening and stuff like that. And then probably about 2009, it really came back strong, and I've been practicing ever since. And so that's kind of where I'm coming from. And what I call myself when I'm talking about spiritual psychic things or intuitive things is a spiritual channel, because I believe that all the messages that we get from source is channeled through one of our five senses or the sixth sense. So anyway, that's my psychic thing. So before I came on today, I did my thing to prepare for getting messages and stuff. So I would be more than happy to answer questions, or if someone has had a dream or any questions like that, I can certainly answer some of those. So that's kind of how I got
Great.
my start, if you want to call it that. And the good news is that everyone has spiritual gifts. So we just weren't really taught to use them. So I help people remember what they have inside already. So
Yeah, let's
yeah.
talk about that statement that you just made there, because it's very powerful, but yet people all think that they don't have a gift. And it took me a while to figure that out. I was in my 30s, I think, when I started to realize I could see the light in people. And some people said, "Oh, you're so naive. You're very vulnerable. You see the good side. Everybody has two sides to them." But if, and it took me a while to figure out, am I vulnerable, or is this a gift that I can actually see?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you bring that out? How do you get them? And then I realized there's something called an ego, ego, easing God out, if you want to say it that way to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to ask you about gifts that people may say, well, oh my gosh, I just saw Dee Fletcher and she's phenomenal. She has this beautiful intuitive side to her that I wish that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it takes a lot of work to work it and, do a lot of different things in there, but people have a certain aspect about themselves that they don't even realize it's their gifts. Would you agree with that?
I agree. And most of us, I'd probably say 98% of people who are born are taught not to embrace their gifts. So we're all born with the gifts. They never go away. We can ignore them or whatever, and we can't be, our free will can't be taken away from us. So our guardian angels or source, spirit, whatever your belief is, can't interfere. So if we don't want to use them, that's our free will if we don't want to use them. But everybody has them. We weren't taught how to use them. Like we were taught how to walk, ride a bike, all that stuff, but most of us weren't taught how to use our spiritual gifts. So they've just been kind of in what I call sleep mode, like when your computer goes to sleep and stuff. We just have to wake it up. And it's not, once you decide that you want to start using your gifts, we always have one or two that are stronger than the others. And once we start using them, all it takes is some practice, your intent to use them, and then they start growing exponentially. And then the other ones will start getting stronger as well. So you may start out just hearing things or seeing things or knowing things, and then one day something will happen and you'll see and you'll hear and you'll know and you'll feel and then smell, taste. So we use our spiritual gifts are like an extension of our normal five senses. And the knowing part, if we just know stuff, that's all of the five senses that have computed something really quick so that we just know. Okay, it's like
Yeah.
a fast little computer that just spits stuff out kind of thing. So that's what knowing is. That's this, I guess, if you want to call it a sixth sense. So we all have them. So all we have to do is, if we choose to say, I'm going to start using this and just practice, and it'll speed up, it'll come out, it'll get stronger really fast. The more you use it, the faster it becomes stronger. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of people don't even realize that they when their kindness comes out, how much their gift comes out. So take those high vibrational joy, kindness, love, and watch how people are drawn to you. And everybody can develop that. And if somebody is, and I'm going to end it here, and then we're going to jump into something else. But if somebody is constantly reminding you of something about yourself, some aspect, some quality, a beautiful quality, that's it. That is your gift that you brought in when you incarnated. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So we're going to move on. So did you want to start out with the predictions? And what type of predictions are these?
I actually did I don't know how familiar your audience is with Lenormand, but I also do psychic readings, if you want to call it that. And what I asked for was a reading for the world for 2024. And I did a spread on that. And, I can share that at a later date. But some of the things that I got from what was basically what we need to do in the coming year and beyond to help speed up the process of this positive change, because I hear a lot of people all the time, and probably you do too on your shows, that people are tired of waiting. They want to see something happen. They want some progress. They want to be able to put their hands on it or whatever, see it, feel it, whatever. And a lot of this was about, okay, what can you do, we all do, to speed up this process, to make it easier, etc. So that's basically what the predictions were about. It wasn't about doom and gloom and this is going to happen and this bad thing's going to happen and stuff like that. It was more like what we need to do to get through this and to speed up this process, so that we're not hanging out here for 6 more years saying, when's it going to happen, when's it going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you this right now. My dogs are bothering me. They're loving your energy. That only happens with a couple of people. So, yeah, they're all gathered around me. This is beautiful. So this is great that you're giving these type of predictions out. Now, is this the time I should jump over to that link that you sent me?
Yes, because the first part of that PDF that they can download for free talks about the predictions on like the first real page. The first chapter talks about the predictions. And one of the predictions, or one of the things that we need to do, is to stay away as much as possible from the negative. Okay, so this would be um, that's the advertisement. I have a tendency to call what we're going through the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs kind of world. So, so the predictions are for us to, what can we do to speed up this process? Okay, and it's probably got to scroll a little bit more past the table of contents, but yeah, it starts right there at 2024 predictions. So if we want to speed up this process, the biggest thing that we need to do is to send out positive. We and to work together. The division is what is slowing us down so much. So the people on the other side, or the evil people, or the people that are trying to wreck our world, or however you want to put it, they get their power from negative. If we put out negative, the bigger their power grows. So we need to work together. And they also know, this is like some Sun Tzu kind of art of war stuff, but they know that if they divide us, we're weak. We don't, if we're divided into all these little pieces and all these belief systems and all these colors of skin and all of this stuff, it's much harder for us to fight back with the positive because we're not on the same page. We're all fighting amongst ourselves, and that's what they want. And when we fight amongst ourselves, it gives them more power. It gives them, we need to stop being in anger, fear, anxiety, and stuff like that. So a good way to do that is to, and there's some suggestions throughout this chapter, is that we need to stop feeding ourselves the negative. Okay, so the negative news, the negative videos on social media, the content creators who push out negative and fear and, you know, apocalyptic, you know, events and all that stuff to get views. And we have to remember that what we spend our time and money on, we have the power to change that. So if we don't want to, say, go to a certain store because of whatever reasons we have, then we don't spend our dollars there. It's the same kind of principle with these social media, these YouTube channels, whatever it happens to be. It's not just YouTube. It's all the social media, TikTok, whatever. If it's negative, okay, we don't need to watch it. We need to unsubscribe, don't watch it anymore, leave a comment just nicely saying, I'm unsubscribing because this content is too negative or something like that. And then just leave it be. And we don't need to spend all day on these social media sites that are negative, and it's sucking the energy out of us. It's taking our positivity out. It's depressing us. It's making us, you know, the more we listen to it, the more we watch it, the more it takes from us. So we need to stop. You can figure out what's going on in the world just 30 minutes, an hour a day. Go to the positive channels. Unsubscribe from all the negativity. We don't need to get a minute by minute, spend 8 hours of our day looking at this stuff. We really need to focus on positive things. So read a positive book, watch a positive video, listen to positive music, spend time with your kids or family or friends or whatever, and make those good times, those memorable times, and stay away from the positive. I mean, stay away from the negative, sorry.
So on this document that you have here, am I in the right place? Because I don't know how far you want me to scroll with this.
It really doesn't matter. I know what's in there, but I set it up like a Q&A, like questions that I thought someone would ask, like, how can one person fix all that is wrong in the world? And it gives you the answer. So basically, if someone is saying, you know, well, I'm just one person, what can I do? Okay. How spiritual stuff or positive stuff works is that it starts with one person. It starts within yourself. You choose to be positive and do positive things. And then everybody else around you sees that and feels that energy and that positivity. And they're like, hey, I want some of that. So then they say, hey, how come you're so happy, or you're glowing or whatever? And you say, oh, because I don't do the negative anymore. I just send out positive, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, oh, okay. And you kind of show them, and then it goes out like ripples in the pond where the stone is thrown. It just ripples out to everybody. So one person can exponentially grow the positivity. So we have to understand that the way these people get their power is through negativity, negative emotions, making you feel a certain way, dividing you into all these little pieces so that we're not together. And every time we play into that, we give them more power. So one of the predictions, or one of the things for us to do to speed up the process of this positive change, is to not give them the energy anymore. Don't give them your energy.
Right. I get these trolls from time to time because I'm a cornucopia of different things, and people seem to appreciate more when I do spiritual shows. If I start doing something from the news, I get attacked. And when I get attacked, I'm thinking, okay, you're doing spiritual stuff, and yet you will throw the nastiest thing at me. And so, the last one was, why don't you check with your guides? And, why are you doing this? And I said, I just checked with my guides and they told me to bless you, and I'm moving on. You have to be able to bless them and move on.
And speaking of doing that, one of the suggestions for the coming year, and I have to say, and beyond, is we need to send those people who are doing the negative or the evil or the destruction or whatever you view it as, every time we come into contact with those people, we need to send them love. So whatever love is to you, it might be a divine white light. It may be a rosy light of love. We need to send them love because love is the strongest power. It defeats all negative. Okay. And so if we're talking about a really bad person and we're like, oh, I don't think I can send them love, then in this PDF that anybody can download, I put a little saying. It's sending a blessing, asking for a blessing. So if you can't send them love, say, ask Source, Spirit, God, Universe, I ask for a blessing to be sent this person, that it be whatever they need for their highest good, and that is in full alignment with their divine self. Thank you. And then you leave it up to Source, Spirit, God, Universe to send them what it is they need to balance them. And that's the best thing that you can do. So don't send out that negative when negative is sent towards you. So that's
Right.
one of the tips in here. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jax is agreeing with you, saying love is the glue, and I love that because it pulls you back together. It
Yes.
makes you whole again, and I love that she used. I hope it's a she used the word glue. And okay, yeah. So I've got this highlighted up here. I just went and did a search on the word love and how many times you have it in this document. And if anybody wants this document, I think I put the link out there for that. And I'm going to paste it again, and I'm going to share it on Rumble now, and I'm going to share it in the chat here for the people that are on Facebook and also YouTube. So let's see, is it out here? I think it is out here. Did it go? I'm not sure. One moment. I am really my energy with YouTube is suppressed, so you guys should be able to see this now. It is, and I didn't choose to do that. This goes back 3 or 4 years ago, and they never took the algorithm off of me. All right, so
And
here
the good thing about doing these positive things, not only are you sending the love that's stronger than the hate or the negative, but it also helps you to heal. It helps you to feel better. It helps you to feel empowered so that you don't feel like, oh, there's nothing I can do. Oh, I'm so tired of being angry and anxiety and fear and all this. It helps heal you as well. So some of the things that I've seen for the coming year is that all of the crazy stuff, what I call the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, is if we think we've had a lot in the last, say, year, it's going to speed up. Okay, there's going to be more because they want us to stay confused, distracted, angry, filled with anxiety, not know what to do, be, in our rooms hiding and shriveling from whatever they're doing to us, or we're allowing them to do, is actually the right thing to say about that. But we're gonna to get through this next period with all this stuff, is going to be even more crazy crap going on. Okay, like they're just, it's, if you want to think of it as the little child screaming, kicking and screaming because they want their way. So they've already lost the battle, but they don't want to admit defeat. So they're going to go out kicking and screaming. So if you want to put a little analogy on that, so the next year or so is going to be that, so we're going to have like this crescendo of when, and then things will start getting better, but we can speed it up if we don't play into that negative and we send out positive. It neutralizes any power that they have over us. And at some point, they won't be getting any more power. They won't be getting what they want. They won't be able to distract us. We'll decide that we're not going to be divided anymore, that we're going to stand together. And not everybody will decide this. Just like we said, there's some people that won't wake up. But I also saw that a lot more people will wake up. They're finally going to realize, and they're going to say, hey, we can't do this alone. We need the help of everybody. This is a we thing. This is a we thing. This is not a us, me, or them guys over there. It's a we. We have to all work together and do this positive thing, all these positive things that I talked about in the little PDF to make sure, one, we speed this up, we heal ourselves, and we come together. Divided, we fall. Okay? Together, we overcome. Right? It sounds like an old spiritual song for some reason. Anyway, so that's the focus that we need to have. We don't need to give the negative any more of our time, attention, etc. We don't need to play into it. We don't need to keep being keyboard warriors and go, oh, well, this is bad and this is bad. What we need to do, the other thing that we need to do is we need to do whatever you can do to help your community, your family, whatever, your state, your country. We're all born with, we have skills and abilities, we have beliefs, we have experiences. Everything that we've learned and experienced in our life has made us uniquely qualified to do what we came here to do. We came here, we're supposed to be here in this time.
Well,
some of us
you
may not believe
just
that, but
you just said something, and when you were saying do, what I always seem to hear is just be. So we're human. We're not always going to be in our best behavior. We're going to have our moments. We're going to be, we're emotional and spiritual beings, having a human experience. And we need to take the pressure. One thing that I want to add to what you're saying is that we need to be kind to ourselves too.
Yes. And by sending out positive and focusing on positive things and spending our time creating positive in our life, we are being kind to ourselves. All of this starts within. There's a saying that says, do not look without for those things that reside within. So it starts with us, and then it goes outward, just like that ripple that I talked about. So we all can do something, even if it's, if there's a elderly person across the street who, needs some help bringing their groceries in, or anything. We have skills and abilities that we can share to help others who can't do for themselves or whatever. This is about helping others as well, and if we're a wordsmith or something like that, and we can talk to people, or we can listen to people, or there's so many things that we can do. If we don't know what to do, or we want to learn a new skill, there's plenty of places where we can volunteer. So it's about helping each other, sticking together, sending out the positive, etc.
I'm muted. I was talking.
Okay.
So we are at the, believe it or not, we're already at the 30-minute mark. So we're going to move over to the next topic that you have in there is the dreams. I don't want to cut you short, but I am putting all of your information up as we go, and anybody can see that I have it out there, the links, your website. And so now we're going to move into dreams, and I'm going to read your quote from this. I'll put it up on the screen also. It is, and then we could just jump into that, and then maybe find time to maybe talk to the people about their dreams, because this was a request that I had gotten, that a lot of people were having these dreams. So in a dream, a vision of the night, when the deep sleep falls upon man. While slumbering in their beds, then he opens the ear of men and seals their instructions. What does that mean?
It means that your dreams are there to help you. So most of us have been taught, and we went through life where we're just busy all the time. Our mind's always going. We don't take the time to sit down, relax, calm our mind, etc. So we may not realize it, but there's things in place that those people, the bad people, if you want to call it that, the opposing side, or however you want to see it, has put in
Baddies.
place, to prevent us from remembering our dreams. Our dreams are there because that is the best time for our mind to be quiet enough so that spirit, God, universe can tell us things, send communication to us. We also get that stillness of the mind when we do like meditation, or we go for a walk or a hike in the forest, or our mind settles down. So that's what that is talking about. In our dreams comes the communication from source. And the reason this is going to be important for 2024 is that we need to start remembering our dreams and writing them down and figuring out, what does this mean? Because in the coming times when things get crazy, this is one of the ways that we're going to get communication about what we need to do, how we're going to stay safe, etc. This is sort of like when we have gut feelings or women's intuition that says, no, I'm not going to turn that way, I'm going to turn this way. Okay, these are times when the source spirit can send us communications or send us signals, like our guardian angels or whatever you believe in, that helps us stay out of danger. So your gut feelings, your women intuition, and your dreams, and any other signs that you have during the day. Some people don't pay enough attention to see signs that are around you. All of creation conspires to help you. It's up to us to be present and notice things. Okay, so when we get a gut feeling in the coming times, if we get a gut feeling that says, no, don't turn that way, go this way, or don't go there today, or whatever, we need to heed that advice, because that is source, our inside communication with spirit that's trying to help us, keep us out of danger, etc., so that we can traverse this cuckoo times.
Okay, I'm going to ask, just take a pause here for a minute, and I'm
Okay.
going to ask everybody on Rumble and also YouTube and Facebook, if you're watching me, to, in uppercase, if you have a question about a dream. I'm going to save these off, and I'll grab as many as we can and get through them. If you have a continuous dream and you've just want to know what it is, and please make sure it's a clean dream. Just a little humor there. So if you want to explain to us what this dream is and you want an explanation, I'll save it off for the end. Okay, so the next question I see on your chart is, how do I know what my dreams are trying to tell me? And that's what I thought. We'll come back to that question when we start getting close to the hour here. All right, so I see one already. They're popping in here. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a whole section in this handout that they can download for free, that you gave them the link to, that talks about dreams, what kind of dreams they are, how to interpret them, etc. The easiest way to interpret your dream is to ask, what does this mean to me? Because spirit, God, universe, whatever your beliefs are, talks to you in your language and from your experiences. So if I see a snake in my dreams, a snake means something different to me than it would to you, Janine, or other people, because of our beliefs and experiences. So they're talking to you, they're in your language, from your experience. They know everything about you. So that's the best way. But there's more to it, but that's the general gist of how to interpret your dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could really dissect just taking a snake. You know, first of all, it sheds its skin. You're developing into something else. It doesn't have to be like, oh, snake. Venom, poison, any of that stuff. I learned that moving to the South. That in Arkansas, when I first got there, everybody was posting all these pictures of different snakes, and everyone would say, "Those are good ones. Those are good ones." I'm like, "Is there such a thing as a good snake?" Yes, there is, and it's just like with everything. There's good and there's bad. But then there's these terrifying dreams, these what we call nightmares. You had them as children. Maybe some of them has come back as adults. I don't know. But if you have something out there, if you can jump over to YouTube and put what your question is about a dream, I can grab it much easier and save it off. But I've got two of them right now, and we're going to see where this goes. You want me to scroll down here and interpreting some of these dreams examples?
And I do talk about nightmares, what nightmares mean in this handout, so they can look at that. But if you have questions about dreams so far, unless you have, want me to go into further detail about dreams, but the dreams, everybody has dreams. And yes, you can remember your dreams. You just have to
Okay.
stop. You have to stop saying, I don't have dreams. I can't remember my dreams, because
All right.
our words have power. And every time that we say that, we reinforce not being able to remember them, not being able to figure out what they are. So,
All right, so I'm going to take the first one. We're going to jump into this because there are going to be more as soon as we do the first one. So I'll give you the name or
okay.
the handle, and then
Don't
you
be
just
scared.
yeah. All right, so the first one is our one and only Buckshot. He says, "I can't remember my dreams. Any reason why?"
Yeah, one is if you don't believe you can remember them, or you don't believe that you can have them. That's usually most people the biggest reason. So in that handout, I describe how to train yourself to remember your dreams, because you do have them. Some people have like a different form of dreams that we won't go into right now because we don't have enough time, but you do have dreams. You can remember them. So the best thing to do is to say, I am remembering my dreams, and you get a notebook and a pen and you put it by your bed. And before you go to bed at night, you look at it or you hold it and you say, I'm remembering my dreams. And then since you're not used to doing it, it may take a few days before you start getting little bits that you remember. And then the more you practice and the more you do it, the more you're going to remember of your dream. So whenever you wake up from your dream, write down right then what you remember. Don't wait until you get up in the morning, because a lot of it will be gone. So as soon as you wake up from a dream, turn on the light, write down, put it back down, go to sleep so that it's there. Okay, as soon as you wake from a dream. And it's
Yeah.
all about practice. Practice and intention. And if you've been saying I don't have dreams or I can't remember my dreams, stop saying that and say, I have dreams, or I am remembering my dreams, and put that notebook and that pen right by your bed so you can write it down. So
All right.
you're setting that intent. Ask and it shall be received. Knock upon the
You.
door and it shall be opened. Okay?
Yeah.
So the ask
Yeah.
is the thing. They can't interfere. Ask is how we do it. And you can even ask, please help me to remember my dreams. Thank you.
Okay.
That's an ask.
Okay. I'm gonna really go a little bit out there with my comment on something. It's got
Okay.
nothing to do with buckshot, by the way.
Okay.
But what about people that may drink alcohol and then go to sleep, or have a little bit of Mary Jane and go to sleep, and then have these wild dreams? Is that enhancing their dream, or what is your thought on that?
Well, there are certain spiritual rituals where different drugs or plants are used to enhance visions and stuff. But my my belief on that is that if you're not doing one of those and it's not in a controlled environment, that alcohol, anything that alters your consciousness, alcohol, drugs, uh, 420, whatever the case may be, is actually not good for your dreams. And if you drink enough or take enough or whatever, you may also do something that you don't want to do and create an open for other things to come in, which you do not want to do.
Right. And
'Cause
that's
when we're
real important.
Yeah, because when we're really weak or in certain states under certain levels of intoxication from whatever means, a perfect example of this is general anesthesia. If we go into the hospital for surgery and we're under general anesthesia, that's one of the times that we could create an open for things to come in that we don't want to come in. So it's kind of the same principle with the alcohol, drugs, hallucinogens, whatever the case may be. So I would not suggest that. You're anytime you try to get somewhere or do something through artificial means, it's not going to turn out how you want it. That's my experience and my belief system. So
Yeah. All right. That's great point to make, though. It really is. So I just want to do a shout out to Hula Hoop. Could you please finish your sentence? Because I want to put, she's out on Rumble, and I know Hula Hoop, and Hula Hoop. I need to know what the ending is of this dream, because I don't know if you know this, but it got cut off. So I want to bring it to Dee's attention. So we're going to move on to the next question. Let's see here. You guys keep these a little short, as much as you can. I know the details. Sometimes people dream in a lot of details, and other people may or may not. Okay, this is coming from Dee Morales. And it says 2020 is her handle. I had a vivid dream about, I think that's
exes,
exes. Yeah, like her
ex
past relationship.
partner. Okay.
Yeah. Why are they coming around? Why are they in her dreams?
Okay. So the first thing I would do is ask, what what did I learn from this person? Or what did this person show me? Or what did I go through with this person? Did I learn everything I was supposed to learn from that relationship, that experience, that breakup, whatever the case may be? A lot of times this, especially if a person hasn't let the past go, the bad relationship baggage or whatever, if they haven't let that go and they're looking at a new relationship with somebody, this could be trying to tell them that you might end up in the same predicament because you're attracting the same type of drama, personality, whatever of your exes. So if again, I can I can translate or interpret people's dreams, and a lot of times I just ask, and when we're having a conversation, I'm hearing something over here from my guide. Uh, but you anybody can interpret their own dreams. So for this one, I'm getting what did your exes teach you? Because you may need to be reminded of that for some reason. If you're like dating somebody new or you're looking for somebody new and you haven't released that baggage from these other exes, uh, you may be putting out that vibration that is attracting the same type of drama, person, whatever. There's a reason why they're your exes. I hope that helps some.
Yes. I'm going to, this is from the Rumble community. Thank you so much, everybody who's contributed. I appreciate it. Let's see here. This is coming from Chris Lee. It looks like Chris Lee H. Question is, I recently had a dream where I fell asleep on a bus. The bus driver drove the bus into a huge pool. It was like I felt my body, and I ran. It's like if I left my body and ran into the house to try to save myself, I actually died in it. Wow. Okay. Transformation.
So this is talking about taking a bus is like represents a physical body, and I won't ask any personal questions on here, but anyway, wanting your physical body wanting to go somewhere, travel somewhere that has to do with spirituality. Okay. Anytime we see water, okay, spirituality is coming into play. Emotions, spirituality, that's basically what water means. Again, ask, what does it mean to you? Okay. What does a bus, when you see a bus, what kind of belief system do you have about a bus? What does a bus mean to you? What does a bus driver mean to you? Okay. So driving into a pool is driving into spirituality. Okay. This is emotional from you.
Yeah.
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 This may actually in your house is represents your physical body, your roots, your basic um your foundation, your roots. Okay. So I don't know whether or not this person has spiritual beliefs or has been practicing their spiritual beliefs, but this to me is basically, if I were to have this dream, it would tell me that I have a great need to go back to my spiritual roots or use my spiritual gifts to help me, because if you're not happy and your life isn't going the way it is and you're ignoring this stuff, uh, that may be symbolic of, if you don't, it's almost like you would die inside. And if you do, you're going to be transformed, because death doesn't mean actual dying, unless this was a foretelling dream. Okay, it doesn't look like a foretelling dream, but death can be changing from what you're doing now to something else. So I would ask this person, have you been neglecting your spiritual thing, your spiritual gifts, your spiritual beliefs or whatever, or do you even have one? Are you searching for something not knowing what it is? This could be an answer to that. If you're not happy with life, you don't have a purpose, you don't know what you're here for, you're lost, whatever the case may be, everything about this dream is telling me spiritual. So this may be an answer.
Dee, do you mind if I've got this deck of Akashic cards, and I pulled one on here because I was getting the information from my higher self exactly as you were. They were channeling it through both of us, but I love the visualization. And if you guys could see this, for this particular person, I have a green screen, so bear with me. It's almost a time for her to look at her own wisdom, her own mind, and her own will. And you can't see, unfortunately, you can't see what is above. There's a crown that's above. It's earth and water and fire. And it's like Dee said, it's time for this person. Who was it? Chris Lee H to get a little bit more deeper with self, right?
Yeah, and the reason this person may have been scared in this dream, like, ran into the water, that's scary, and then they're trying to run to the house. They feel like they died when they got to the house. It's like, did you have a spiritual experience at any time in your life, usually like when you were younger, something that scared the crap out of you? And that may be, if it was a bad experience, so to speak, that may be why you're running away from this, that it scares you. Or okay, so hopefully that you got something out of that. Usually when I talk to people, something will hit them, something will come to them that, oh yeah,
yeah, her response here is wow, with exclamation marks. I don't know if you could see that on the screen. Yes. Let's move on to the next one. But you nailed it. I felt it was very much aligned with her truth. And now I think what you've done is you've jump started her into opening her world a little bit wider and realizing other things.
And
I know that this is so true.
We all need to do this during the coming years. We need to listen to our dreams and interpret them, because they're going to help guide us and keep us out of danger and tell us what to do and things like that. So the dreams are important.
Okay, so I'm going to do my best to honor hula hoop. This is her question. I don't know if I can get this all on the screen or not. And it's in two parts because she continued it. I asked her. So hula hoop is her handle. And she says, my daughter was born 3.5 months early and was missing most of her face. She has a right eye and no left side of the face, and she is nonverbal. She came to me in an outfit all in white that she just, okay, this is where it kind of got a little sloppy here. And she just doesn't remember what they were talking. She had a conversation with a nonverbal child in the dream. So she was communicating with her, but she doesn't remember what they were talking about. And she woke up and she was so happy. This is a powerful, powerful dream. Your comments on this, Dee?
Yeah, I didn't understand all of it. I was trying to read it and
No, that's why I'm reading them to you. So let me read it
okay.
again, if you don't mind. So she says, she's basically saying she gave birth to a daughter 3.5 months early, and she was missing most of her face, and she's nonverbal. So she actually has a right eye, but there's no left side of her face, and she can't communicate with her daughter. And so she, in this dream, she's having a conversation with her. She doesn't remember what they talked about. All that she knows is when she woke up, and her daughter's still alive. And when she woke up, she was so happy. There was something that touched her soul so deeply.
So she said her daughter was 3.5 months old?
No, her daughter was born 3.5 months early. So she was premature. Her daughter was premature, cannot communicate, but in the dream, the gist of the dream was she was having a conversation with her. She doesn't remember what the words were. And I don't know if you can interpret that, because it almost is like what she's saying is her experience in the dream. And then all she knew is when she woke up that she was extremely happy, that she had this conversation that she can't remember. To me, that dream was manifested into another realm where she was able to communicate. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, what I get is that our children, especially when they're young, they still remember, they can still use, even if they don't realize that they're using it, they can still use the power of telepathy.
So her daughter, let me interrupt you. Her daughter, she just put this on the screen, is now 31. Sorry.
So in her dream, I don't know if the daughter was at her age that she is now, or the dream was reverting back to when the daughter was an infant or whatever, but the mother and daughter, or parents and sibling, children have a connection. And even if a person is nonverbal, maybe they can't see, maybe they can't walk, maybe they can't hear, use their limbs, whatever the case may be, they still have a connection and they can still communicate with you. Probably her best way to do that was in a dream where she talked to you telepathically and let you know some things that you were worried about her. Like she might have said something like, "Don't worry, I'm okay." I'm getting that she told you about why she is the way she is, or born the way she was, however you want to put it. She told you, and yeah. So
do you want to know what I got on that?
So what she told you was it eased your heart and it helped you to see the glory of purpose, what she was here for, a bunch of spiritual stuff, and it soothed your soul, and it's awesome. You can remember it if you want to, but it's in your heart. You don't have to remember verbatim, because that's why you felt the way that you did afterward. That's what I'm picking up on. Yeah. I'm sorry, Janine, go ahead. I get on the roll.
yeah, that's fine. No, that's fine. And I'm not here to, I love it that, the information is coming across, and I totally agree with everything. What I'm sensing, and I never asked anybody's permission. That's why I use these cards, because I don't want to go through this whole thing of asking their permission, but I actually think that the daughter, and this is my interpretation of it, explained to her the agreement that they had when she came in to incarnate, and that was done in this dream, and that's why she was so happy. There's a knowing that hula hoop has that is nonverbal, and it's just a beautiful thing, and it just moves my heart when I think about this.
Yeah.
Let me just see if there's another question out there. I'm going to move on from that one. I've got, let's see what else. There's one more that's out there. Anybody have another question? I think I hit them all. I've only got 8 of them start off, but this one here is here. Mary Jean G said she last night she had a dream. Let me read this. I dreamed last night I was about to read a book on Lemuria. Does that mean I had a life there?
So is that Mary? Yeah, Mary. Mary, what I would like for you to do, it's like I hear okay? So the best way to get your answer is to take a few deep breaths and relax and ask Spirit, God, universe, Gaia, whatever it is your beliefs are, did I have a past life in Lemuria? And if you quiet your mind, you're going to know it's going to come from your heart. Okay. You can do that now or later or whatever you want to do. If I just look at this like just the question that you ask, and it was a dream of anybody, I would say, what did you feel in the dream when you were dreaming it? It could be that, yes, you had a life in Lemuria, or it may be that you have some knowledge about Lemuria that you need to share in this lifetime. So it's a lot of it is about what kind of feelings or answers or vibrations or whatever did you get during the dream? Did you feel like you were in Lemuria, or you were a part of Lemuria, or you just had access to the knowledge there? But I'm getting all you have to do is just take a few deep breaths, and anybody can do this. You just sit or lay in a comfortable position, take a few deep breaths, relax, ask your question, and then just wait for an answer. If it doesn't come immediately, it usually comes within 4 days. That's what I've found to be true. So
Beautiful.
did you want to jump in there,
No.
Janine? Okay.
No. That was beautiful. So Hula Hoop is giving you a thank you. And she says her heart is leaping with joy and love, love, love.
You're
Fantastic. Welcome. Fantastic. So let's see what we have out here. Just to my moderators, sorry, I was duplicating things. I didn't switch from, I have multiple things that I juggle, and I'm copying into this comment from Hula Hoop to you. Didn't realize that I did it multiple times. All right, let's see what we have out here. Let's see. Ronnie, be nice out there. All right, let's see what else we have out here.
Could I say just a little bit about nightmares?
Yes.
Okay. So sometimes we have nightmares because we have been, the source or God universe has been trying to guide us or tell us things, and we're not getting it, or we're not paying attention, or we keep saying, I don't remember my dreams, or whatever the case may be. So the thing that they've been trying to tell you gets to the point where it's either an emergency, it's danger, something. So they send you a nightmare to get you to wake up, pay attention. Okay. Even if you've never remembered a dream before, you're going to remember a nightmare, because it's like, hey, listen, pay attention. You need, because you may be in physical danger, you may be in spiritual danger. There's, maybe you're one of your children, something you need to do for them, or whatever the case may be, and you've not been getting it. I have a person that I work with sometimes, and she says, you can either get the messages along the way, or at some point you're going to get a 2x4 upside the head. So the nightmare is the 2x4, because it's like, okay, dream, 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 sign out here, song on the radio, weird acting animals or whatever. You're not getting it, you're not paying attention, you're not present. So boom, nightmare. It says, hey, listen, this is important. Wake up, pay attention. You need to do this. You need to see this. You need to whatever is in your dream. That's what a
Yeah.
nightmare is for. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like their last ditch effort, to get you to, hey, get your attention, get you to act on something. And they only do that. They're not allowed to interfere in your life, and they only do that when it's very important. There's certain circumstances where guardian angels or others can interfere, and it's usually most of the time when your life is in danger, they can interfere. And if it's something very important, like something you need to do, or else they're going to send you a nightmare, and you will remember it. Some people say, why do I have nightmares? Was it the same one? Okay. If you have the same nightmare and you haven't figured it out, or you keep saying, I don't know what it means, and that's okay. Just ask, what do these particular parts in this nightmare mean to me? Is what kind of, am I supposed to take some action, or what, and do your best to figure it out, because you'll just keep having it. The only exception to that is, like, if you have dreams that are premonitions or what I call foretelling, then it might be, and I talk about the difference between a literal and a symbolic dream in that handout that Janine has sent you the link for. It's free. All you got to do is go there, download it. And it talks about that. So you can kind of understand, which one's like a normal dream and which one's like, hey, I really need to pay attention more than, that sort of thing. So I highly recommend that everybody, if you want to know any more about this, if you want to use dreams as one of your tools to help you navigate through this next year or so, download that, and it'll give you an idea and help you with that dream process. It's a very powerful tool, your dreams. It's direct communication with source.
Yeah. So here I've got the link up there if you guys wanted to grab that. That document that she put together. She put a lot of work into it. Let's see here. There's one other question that we have. Do you have the time to stay one other question?
Yes, that's
fine. All right. The last one that we'll take here, because we're already up on the hour. This is coming from Fran. It looks like Fran Janes. Jane LS. Is there a way of remembering your dreams? I don't seem to. No, that's not the one that I wanted. We already discussed this. If you guys want to go back and play this over again, there's one other one.
Yeah, I talked about the easiest way to start remembering your dreams. So if you want to go back to the very beginning, I pretty much talk about that. I don't know how many minutes or whatever, but I did go over that already, and it's in the handout. If you download the handout, it's there.
Yeah, let me see what's going on in Rumble over here. Let's see. There's what does they're talking among themselves. Okay. No questions over on Rumble. Come on, you guys. I've got them all over on the YouTube, and I don't see anything from Facebook. They probably kicked me out. All right, so there you guys go. That's only the questions that I have out there. A lot of conversation going on about Lemuria. So I never ignore anything when the group comes together and everyone is talking about Lemuria or near-death experiences, that type of thing. I just think that it's like minds, right? Where we go one, we go all. And if that's what seems to be coming up over on Rumble over there, and a lot of people are saying they know how many lives they lived in Lemuria. That's all great. And
and what you can do, the tool that I talked about earlier, where you sit or lay down in a comfortable position, take some deep breaths until you relax and your mind goes a little bit quiet. you can ask about anything. You could say, you could ask like the Lemuria question was, did I have a past life in Lemuria? What did I do in Lemuria? Was I at Atlantis? You know,
Yeah.
was I ever a Scotsman in the Highlands during the 1800s? Whatever. Or should I eat this can of chicken noodle soup? But we don't want to get. I mean, you can ask anything, but I don't do the soup thing. you know, you can ask. You can even when you have the dream, your tools for the coming year are analyze your dreams, send out
Here,
positivity, and do
here's
positive
here's a
things.
here's a brilliant question from Colleen. She's one of the staples here. It says, "Can our dreams reflect our lives on parallel timelines?" This girl's deep. She's deep.
Yeah, and if you're a person who believes in parallel timelines, we can basically do a lot of stuff in our dreams. We can go to different timelines, we can astral travel, we can ask questions before we go to sleep and say, ask a question. Let's just take the Lemuria thing again. Please tell me in my dreams whether or not I had any lifetimes in Lemuria. Thank you. And you can ask questions that'll be answered in your dreams. Okay. Or the next morning you wake up, you'll just know, or however you get your stuff. I don't know. Everybody's different. So, we can, yes, parallel
Yeah.
lives. But it depends on how you look at time. Is it linear? Is it parallel? Or is it all happen at the same time at different vibrations? So it kind of
Yeah.
depends on how, but you can astral travel and you can go find out a lot of information, but that's a whole different conversation about all the time and where we can travel kind of things.
Yeah, we could. That's actually another show that we can actually talk about that, because there's been so many people out there that have written different books. I got one other question, and then I think we'll wrap this up.
Okay.
So the thing is there's, when I talk about other people that have written books, they talk about this as a simulation. There's so much stuff that is like, we're here, but we're really not here. And I think it's there's just so much that's out there. We all have to use discernment with all this information that's out there. But in the spiritual world, nobody, I don't believe, has all the answers to our existence. And, if something that you are reading resonates with you, then so be it. But the last question here is coming from Jackson. Says, Janine, I have one about not wanting to wake up.
Okay. So that she just has a dream about not wanting to wake up. Okay. So I would take that as a literal meaning. You somewhere in your subconscious, you really don't want to wake up. And what I mean is, like, we can say that we're awake. Like a lot of us we call ourselves awake because we understand that things aren't what they're being shown to be. Maybe we're being lied to, whatever the case may be. But oh geez. We honestly, even though we call ourselves awake, we haven't seen the crust of it yet. There's and that may be why you don't want to wake up, because when you see what you need to see, it's going to be a lot more than what we think. We're so awake right now and we know so much, and there's so much more. And in her subconscious, she may not want to. Maybe she has enough. She doesn't want to know anymore. She doesn't want to know any more bad stuff, or something in her subconscious. Okay. And can you blame someone for not wanting to know everything? It's just like some people don't want to know about the children, so there's more. But if we use these tools that we've been talking about, the dreams, the trusting your intuition, sending out that positive that also heals you, then it makes everything more, um, we can handle things better because we're not in that scared, angry, anxiety ridden, don't want to come out of the closet kind of thing. We're totally present to whatever, and we don't take it personally, and we don't send out hate, and we understand that learning this stuff is part of the process of this big change. So
Okay.
that's what I'm getting from that. So
Yeah, and I apologize if I was saying Jax was a she. I'm being corrected out there.
okay.
And I do that often, you guys. You've got the name Pet, you got the name Kelly, you've got something that could be male or female. I don't always tap into the energy, so I apologize. What about this? So I'm going to
You
just
don't
kind of
read
take.
minds, Janine? You don't read
Yeah,
minds?
you got to be in the room with me.
Oh, okay. Got
So
it.
here is something kind of going about loved ones and our pets that have passed on, and we dream about them.
Okay.
So as a lot of people know, I had to say goodbye to my beautiful Roxy. And I woke up the next morning just feeling her love and her energy all around me. And I walked over, to get a cup of coffee. My husband was standing there, and I said to him, I said, I don't know if I dreamt about Roxy or what. And he looked at me and he said the exact same thing. He says, I know. She's just like, whether he dreamt, if she came to both of us in our dreams. What about the loved ones? Like I said, human fur babies that come to us in our dreams. Can you maybe talk about that a little bit?
Uh, what is that? If you dream about fur babies, or they come to you
Well,
in your
no,
dreams?
the question is basically we have, and it actually was out there as a question, but I'm kind of
Okay.
trying to bring them all together, if you will. So we have people that have passed on, and we have dogs and cats and whatever birds that have all passed on. They were part of us, and they come to us in a dream. Do you have any comment or statement about that? They're coming into our dreams, and they've got a message for us. We may not know what their message is, but we feel the energy, and then we feel the love, and we know that they were there. Do you want to comment on that?
Yes, they do that. I don't know what I mean. Our loved ones can, especially when they first pass, our loved ones, people, we'll say people first, uh, they kind of stay close because they're helping us with our grief process. Okay. And we can always uh, talk to them. We don't necessarily have to say their name. I tell people to say their name and then talk to them or ask them whatever questions they have, and you'll get answers for that. Okay. It's the ask again. It's that ask thing. Okay. And they can come and visit us in our dreams because maybe they have something left unsaid or they want to comfort us or whatever. And the same thing goes for the pets. Okay. They have the ability to come in and comfort us, maybe give us a message in their own little language or however they used to bark or act a certain way that lets you know what they're talking about, all right, telepathically, however you get your stuff. So they can do the same thing. And it's all about when I say creation conspires to assist us, I'm talking about all of creation. So human, animal, spirit, guardian angels, or whatever, when we ask or we have a need or we're in grief, all of creation conspires to assist us, help us, etc. And we also have Archangel Azrael who helps with the grief process for people as well. So we have help. We have our loved ones, whether they're fur babies or people or whatever, can come and comfort us, give us messages, etc., to help us in our grief, or if we have questions, things left unsaid, etc. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I just truly felt that my particular dream was a message from her to say, I'm okay, you guys, I'm okay. And that
yeah,
happens with all of our loved ones, is that when they come to us, I'm just going to kind of wrap that up and just say that, it's great that, we've got these memories, and there's certain times, certain portals, certain things that happen. I still talk about I always have sets of pets, and, I still dream my mother comes to me, and I'll wake up and I'm just like, her energy is all around me, and then I wake up and I move on, and then like 10 minutes into being fully awake, I go, oh my God, I visit mom, or mom visit me. Those are beautiful. Those are the beautiful dreams. And those are the ones that if people aren't remembering, just check into your emotional self. You'll know, you'll get the answers. It's not always in the mind, because what happens is that our mind is so powerful that it could just, let us forget as soon as we wake up. And that's why she was saying, Dee was saying, keep a pad and paper. Where's my camera? Pad and paper nearby to write it down. And,
and I'm hearing for that one with your mother, it wasn't a dream, Janine. It's what we call people might call a visitation.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seemed like a dream. You were asleep or just groggy, waking up or whatever. But I heard it wasn't a dream.
Yeah, I've got something that since I was a little kid, I would been able to channel deceased, which is
okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if I go there. Honestly, sometimes I believe I do, and it comes and goes. I think the older I get, it kind of leaves me. But yeah, she hit.
Don't.
What's that?
Don't say that. Don't say that as you get older, it leaves you. As I get older, it gets stronger.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, right. I know it does. Whatever. Okay, so that's it, you guys. And I see a lot of people saying, a lot of good messages out there. All dogs go to heaven. I believe the power of love, and that's what this is all about. When it comes down to all of this, it's all these messages are something that we need to know to either heal our love, our emotional body, or our mind, and pay attention to them. She's got this great. The links are out there. If you guys are wanting to know a little bit more, and any closing words that you have for anybody about dreams or predictions. You did talk a little bit about the predictions for next year, but you talked about it from a perspective of us healing. Maybe next time we'll get into it a little bit deeper.
Yeah, I don't do the thing about predictions is that anything that is seen at this moment is basically what's seen at this moment in time. And any action that we take can change those. So I would not, unless I got something that I was told really I needed to say or something, I wouldn't say, oh, we're going to have a volcano on, November 15th or something, because I know that I may have gotten that, but I also know that things can change, circumstances can change to prevent that, or it might come sooner, or it might come later, or whatever. So what I got was what we need to do. These are things that are going to be happening, like everything that's been happening is going to like double or triple in intensity. And these are the things that we need to do to speed up the changes and to deal with the stuff that we're getting bombarded with, so that we stay in a good spiritual, balanced, grounded place, so that we don't, live in fear and anger and anxiety and feel like that we can't do anything. If we work together and we do these positives, and just like we talked about with death and our loved ones visiting us, that love, that's proof of the power of love, using love instead of the negative and sending out love and positivity. So I don't do doom and gloom predictions and stuff like that. I can tell you, I can see them. I can look at things on TV and that and know if they're real or not, because I have that know thing, and I can, but I don't do the prediction thing, because we all can kind of feel when stuff's coming up, and we need to use discernment. And I'm not going to say, oh, this is going to happen on this day, and then after it passed go, well,
like everybody else is doing right now. Everybody else is tap dancing, and then they give you a different explanation to try to,
and that causes anxiety,
twist the meaning of it. It's just crazy. Yeah, we have to stay in the now and in the present, and we just basically have to know that, just stay with your own feelings and truth, because I'll tell you, there are still a lot of people out there that are just basically divided. And the more that we come together in our own mind and our own hearts, we are changing the landscape of everything. And, everyone is always saying, I'm confused about this, I'm confused about that. And I get that. So what I do is I just turn everything off. It doesn't matter. It'll still continue going on and it'll still be a confusion later on. So what difference does it make? Live your life, love your family, and just be who you truly are. And that's
and
really all that matters.
don't spend any more of your time on the negative, the anxiety causing, the stressful news, social media, videos, whatever. Choose to do things that are positive and don't support all the hype and the stress and the fear and the doom and gloom and the, tomorrow is revelations, or whatever the case may be, because it's not,
Yeah.
it means a total different thing than what a lot of people that are doom and gloom say it does. So, but I'm not the one, sister. I'm not the one to do those predictions.
Thank you so much, Dee. If I could just put, just let everyone know, Brad Olson will be here tomorrow, 3:00 Central Time, 1 hour earlier than I normally am. You guys, we are going to talk Antarctica. You have all your questions, get them ready. And we're going to do exactly what we did with Dee today. We'll try to do a Q&A. I've never done a Q&A with Brad. If you have his book, let me know that you have his book and pull some of the information from that. Everybody, thank you. God bless. And now we turn the page. Bye. Bye. Thank you, Dee.